I hope I'm well in focus here and that this works. Welcome in. So in this channel we channel and we discover deeper aspects of ourself in order to emerge what we are all on, which is this emergence of the light inside of us. And that light has been very confused how to actually operate that light. But when you comprehend what this light truly is and how you can protect it down here, that becomes very important. But for that, you need to know that you have something to protect. If you think that you're here, this whimsy little human, in this body, in this situation, why is my life like this? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? You know? We've all been there. And there are deeper and deeper levels of this, because most beings, what they've done is just, okay, he's saying that, okay, let's go with that. This is good enough. Let's just go with that. That's what most people have done. Let them deal with it. Whatever. I have enough with feeding the kids or making ends meet or whatever the thing, right? We are here and you are here for something much, much bigger than that. And you know it. And it's not gonna come from the outside, unfortunately. The outside will only just mirror what you know you're here to do, which is to honor you. Once you start to switch and make that switch, because we have been so trained to please other people, to do things for other people, to be good persons, to be this, to be that, give away all our power to all these women and oh yes, you can, whatever. That's giving out of our power. Attention is power. Because attention, your attention, can be used for something so much greater. And when you put your attention to good use, and you start to see result, and not only that, you start to feel results. I have something in my teeth. All right, let's continue. So this light you have to comprehend how valuable you are and your attention is. Your attention, hear us, literally are creating every single moment. You may have heard that before. Many have heard that before. But feel for a moment the depth of that. It's not a thought. It's literal. That means that whatever you're thinking, you're getting feedback from the outside. So if something is not working, you can bank your ass on reading the mirror to figure out what you're doing. You see? This is what's so important in this world. Because many beings are mosquitoes. Many beings are going into this new world with the old mentality. And that does not work. We see it everywhere. Because beings need to have the right mentality going in with people. Who to go in with, who to collaborate with, who is ready for collaboration. And most beings are in need of healing. That's why the world is looking the way that it is. Because people need safety, and it's not just safety. Safety from what? You have to see what you're doing so that you can correct it, because that's the only way that you can actually create any safety. There are actual steps inside of your body that you can do with people that shifts your course of direction drastically if you just make different decisions. And how is this made? One tiny little puny, maybe seeming insignificant decisions every moment. And sometimes it may seem insignificant, like, oh, should I go on YouTube or should I work on this thing? You know, sometimes it's just this. Okay, now I've gone YouTube. Okay, I see that I'm doing a little bit more on this front. I need to course correct to do more on this front. Not because you have to, but because when you do the things that's going to move your creativity, your freedom, your expansion, your connection with others, and true healing comes through those decisions. Many of them put together. And that's a habit. We highly recommend that you become master habit changers in the coming years. Start now, if you haven't already. This is all we do here. We're changing habits of thinking, habits of behavior, seeing correctly. Oof, it's so important. It's so important. It's important to acknowledge your feelings regarding people and what you're entering into or what not to enter into. It's really important to maintain this equilibrium that you have cultivated within yourself, being in isolation for so long. You know? I mean, you can still be with people and still be in isolation. We didn't fully share who we were. We didn't have the space to really discover that, because there was so many opinions about it. You do this, you do that, you stand on your legs and you do this and you do that mantra and that chakra and that and that and that you do all of these and then you sometimes you can have this modality that gets you to shake, and then all your traumas is away and then you're all healed. You know, there's so much crap right now. And this is the buying, selling modality thing. We know. We've been in marketing for way too long. Now we're not in marketing anymore, other than marketing truth. That's what we're into now. Very different. And you know, we didn't know our value. We just let whoever take our energy. We were very naive. We were believing that people are genuinely good people, and we still believe that. It's just that if you don't know what you're doing, you can behave in stupid ways, you know? And this is how many grown-ups are still toddlers in consciousness. And there are so many variants in between, and we are not judging anything. We have just grown our body up about love and romantic relationships from being a 14-year-old kid, because that's where our body was sort of a little bit stuck because of what it had been through. So we had to help it to grow up with new people that are not 14, but our consciousness was 14 in the way that we maneuvered that, you see? And by going through it, by daring to go through it anyway, even if it's stupid, even if it's like you coming across like a little 14-year-old kid, let's say, at least inside you feel like that. Maybe it comes across different, but still the energy, and it's about walking that path. And that was important for this body to have gone through and to grow up that aspect. And this is how we grow in consciousness in many different areas. And we are sharing what the guides are guiding this body to do every single day. And that is this Ascension program. Highly recommend that you start that. That is the foundation for all of what we are talking about here. And it is training your system into what we call the holistic perspective. And the holistic perspective, it is the perspective that everyone is seeking. It's just that they don't know that they're seeking it, because it's a training that was missing in human development. Simply, it was missing. And so people are going around thinking whatever crap without knowing the baseline, the actual truth of this experience, of how to operate your human being in energy, how the energy system really works in practice, not some theory thing, in practice. What does it mean for me in practice? You know, it's so important. We can't just be having it divided. That's not the point. The point is to integrate those two within yourself. And when you have integrated, your heart opens automatically, because you have the comprehension clarified, and you have Gaia's love coming the other way, acknowledging that, yes, my love, you got it. And that's something you can only experience. You can't read it in a book. It's not something that just lands on your lap. You can get upgrades for sure, but upgrades come, know this, upgrades come not randomly when Gaia decides it. It's not just a frequency thing. When you do the right actions according to your brothers, your sisters, and yourself, in the correct order, maneuvering the body in openness and trust, and not allowing anything else than that in the space. Of course you can allow, but then it's more, what is it, so that we know what is needed. Because there is no point with just letting the body do whatever. That's not the point. It's here to learn how to maneuver the body. How do you operate these wonderful machineries in harmony? Well, there needs to be training, because you can't change, you can't experience something different here without having a completely different experience inside. And we're not talking about make-believe here. We're not talking about pretend. We are acknowledging the truth that we were lied to. All this stuff about how things work, yeah, that's from one perspective. Okay, get it. But what about this other stuff? You know, there's a lot of things to try and deviate the human condition and consciousness when you sort of look into the world, so to speak. And that is an internal condition that can only be mitigated inside. So if you're interested in shifting with us, there is a link below. We so appreciate you being here, taking an interest of these teachings. These are ancient teachings about human energy that was hushed up, removed. Nope, shouldn't have that from the curriculum of training a human being in order to control and manipulate. And there are still beings that operate from that old paradigm, thinking that they're here to control and manipulate in action. And that's simply just old shoes. But we, each and every one of us, has to see that and consciously choose not to go there, but to go there. You got this. Take care, and we'll talk to you again in the next one. Ciao. Oh, by the way, we are starting Gaia live sessions. And if you're interested to join that, we will start with these are human energy internal alignment sessions. These are the sessions that we do every single day. And we want to open up that for people to experience live, because it is an experience to do that live, because then there is a in the moment building of energy. And so we are using our collective consciousness together to create even more light. So if you're interested to join in anchoring more light, there's a link below. You can go to Gaia events. There's a WhatsApp group, and there is where we post all of those events. All right, take care. We'll see you again in the next one. Ciao.